Hard Facts with Kalada Kurubatabo. And as always, it promises to be interactive, educative, and informative. Today is the first edition, or today's edition is the first edition for the week, and it will be a great way to start Hard Facts for the week. Once again, welcome. I am Kalada Kurubatabo. As you know, the 3 o'clock hour, we would go through the big stories making the round. The 4 o'clock hour, we'll look at an issue. And I want us to look at the issue of accountability in governance. And we'll be taking a look at Fayose's interview while he was on our Channels TV yesterday. And after that, the 5 o'clock hour, we'll look at something close to tribalism in Nigeria. And the question I have is, why do we always use the tribalism card? Why are we so quick to use the ethnic card here in Nigeria? During the elections, it was very palpable. Now it is also still very palpable. And I'll tell you the story, the background story that has, given birth to the conversation, tribalism in Nigeria. So you know what the package is about. The package is, it's well packaged for today. And it promises once again to be informative, educative, interactive, and of course very interesting as well. All right, without wasting any more time, I'm going to really story you, and that's what I have in my pockets is Ministerial appointment. Tinubu sends list to DSS EFCC orders. Ministerial appointment. Tinubu sends list to DSS EFCC orders. The second one is Wike must serve in Tinubu's government. Fayose. Wike must serve in Tinubu's government. Fayose. I'll read the story for you and you get to find out why I said so. To the third one, court orders Obasanjo Jonathan orders to account for $5 billion Abacha loot. Wow. Not just one president or former president. We've got Obasanjo, Jonathan, Buhari, 3 of them. And from my research, it goes back to Abdul Salami. It goes back to Abdul Salami, as a matter of fact. So all of them are supposed to account for Abacha's loot. How much is the money? How much have we received? What have we used it for? All right. 40 days of Tinubu's presidency. Poverty worsens. This is coming from Atiku. Now, Rivers residents applaud government plan transport palliative for workers. And my question for you is, are you one of the Rivers residents applauding the bosses reeled out by the Rivers State government? This is what I've got for you for the big stories. So let's start with ministerial appointment. Tinubu sends list to DSS EFCC. So what some newspapers are saying is that because it is now a law for a president within his first 60 days to appoint ministers, the president Bola Ahmed Tinubu has now sent his list for clearance and verification, so that they can be vetted by the security agencies and the anti-graft agency. According to reports, Tinubu has clocked 40 days in office, and so there is the palpitation as to who will make the cabinet. Of course, we've been talking about it here in Bever State. We've been talking about the former governor, which we'll still talk about today because it's in the news. We've been talking about him making the cabinet. But according to reports that certain people have been listed, the Guardian puts it like this, that about I'm trying to get the percentage right so I don't mislead you. So just apologies. I'm trying to look for where I wrote it down. Yeah. So it's, the report on the Guardian says 5 ex-governors, technocrats lead Tinubu's 42-man cabinet. So it's going to be a 42-man cabinet. 5 of them are ex-governors. 5 of them. Of course, former governor is said to be amongst the 5 governors. I cannot verify it. I've not seen the list. I don't think anybody has seen the list. But some of the newspapers did some investigation, and they are saying Erufai, Ganduje, Bagudu, Badaru, and Wike have been penciled down for certain portfolios in the cabinet. So what do you make of it? And according to the Guardian, that the presidency or the president is likely to scrap the position for Minister of State. So we will just have main ministers, like they call it, but there will be no Minister for State. According now, do not quote me, but according to the Guardian, there will be no Minister for State this time around. There's some other differences, but as the time progresses, we will get the accurate information. So there will be 42 ministers, 20 special advisors, and the special advisors will be part of the cabinet meetings or the federal executive meetings every week. That being said, let's move on now to the next one. Wike must serve in Tinubu's government. Fayose has made that statement. He was on Channels TV yesterday, and he said a lot of things. But then again, the big one, the one making the rounds, at least for us in River State, is that he said the G5 worked for Tinubu because they were of the belief that the power should go to the southern part of Nigeria, and so some of them worked for Peter Obi while others worked for Tinubu. And as a result, the G5 should be appreciated. And when a politician tells you that somebody should be appreciated, it means that the person must get an appointment. And he also said, we came in Tinubu government. I quote, Governor of Benue is his oldest age. If still the campaign, his children must disown him. The Wike I know, forget that Wike will leave the PDP, Fayose said. He said they would not leave the PDP, but they will, a possibility serve in Tinubu's cabinet. He said on the possibility of Wike being in Tinubu's cabinet, what is wrong with that? How is anybody affected by that? I don't want to be a minister, that's him talking for himself. But if Asiwaju says Fayose, you will be minister, and I agree, what is their headache? I want Wike to be in cabinet. Wike has what it takes to serve Nigeria. Wike is an articulate capacity person. Nigeria needs an average bad person. I don't understand. I mean, I watched it and I don't understand up till now what it means by an average bad person. Is the former governor an average bad person? I don't know him that much. Fayose is his friend and political brother. So Fayose is telling us, and maybe he knows better. What do I know? But going on, he says, I support Wike. If Asiwaju finds him or any of the G5 worthy, please serve in Asiwaju's government. Say, I will be disappointed if Asiwaju does not equally appreciate them for what they stand to represent. Wike must serve. Wike is still a young man. I am his senior brother. He can't deny that. Wike is an asset to Nigeria. Wike is never timid. He confronts challenges. Asiwaju needs a man like Wike. All right. So moving on to the next one. Court orders Obasanjo, Jonathan others to account for $5 billion Abacha loot. My goodness. I'm wondering, and forgive me for wondering, right? Forgive me. Serap took the Nigerian government to court and argued that Abacha's loot is veiled in secrecy. And then the court granted the petition of Serap and said that the Nigerian government should make public how much was given to Nigeria in terms of Abacha's loot. First of all, how much is the loot? How much has been returned to Nigeria? And how has it been spent? And you see, the court's ruling covers the administration of Olusegun Obasanjo, Umaru Musa, Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan, and Muhammadu Buhari. Now, according to Serap, it's about $5 billion US. So I did a quick research and I googled and I tried to follow all the times that monies were returned to Nigeria in the name of Abacha's loot. And I realized that it started from Abdul Salami, who was the military head that handed over to civilian government. You know him, he's always signing peace pacts with politicians during elections, right? So it was the first person to an amount. Where is it now? Just give me the funds from Switzerland. 1.2 billion, 8 million from 2003, and another $160 million from Jersey, British Island in 2003. Wow, 2006 and that tranche was really as well. We go for a quick break. When I come back, tell you more details.
Sincerely, I don't want to wait.
On 92.3 Nigeria Info. I was just telling you a story about the Abacha loot, and I was telling you how Obasanjo had recovered a couple of tranches of Abacha's loot. In 2000, I said, he recovered 64 million from Switzerland, 1.2 billion from Abacha family in 2002, $88 million from Switzerland in 2003, and another $160 million from Jersey, British Island in 2003. Before him, Abdul, who was the military head of state, 1990, he recovered $150 million Abacha. Wow, like they say in our local parlance. In 2005, Obasanjo recovered another tranche of $461 million of the Abacha loot deposited in Switzerland. By the following year, 2006, $44 million was recovered from the same country. Switzerland, what's happening with Switzerland? In 2014, during the administration of ex-president Goodluck Jonathan, Nigeria recovered $227 million of the Abacha loot from Liechtenstein, a country in Europe. The administration also recovered $322 million from Switzerland, but the fund was repatriated during Buhari's first term in 2018. In 2020, during Buhari's second term, Nigeria repatriated $311 million Abacha loot from the United States and the bailiwick of Jersey. The litigation process for the return of the most recent assets, entitled Abacha 3, commenced in 2014, while the diplomatic process that culminated in the signing of the asset return agreement on February 3, 2020 by the government of Nigeria, US, and the bailiwick of Jersey commenced in 2018. Basically, Abacha has been sending us funds and gifts from the grave. And Serap is saying, can we know how much we have received in total? How we have spent it? How much are we still expecting? Are we still expecting gifts from the grave? If yes, how much is that gift, and when are we to receive it? And you see, it's high time we begin to push government into accountability, because with the amount that we've received over the years, about what now, 24 years thereabout, or even more, one would expect that Nigeria would have been able to utilize these funds for the growth and development of Nigeria. I mean, a lot of the things that are lacking in terms of basic infrastructure, in terms of things that we need as a people, should not even be a part of our national discourse anymore. But what do I know? What do I really know? Let's move on now to the next one, because Abacha has taken a lot of our time. Let's see, what's the next headline? The next headline: 40 days of Tinubu's presidency, poverty worsens. Atiku is claiming 40 days of Tinubu's presidency, poverty worsens in Nigeria. Now, the question I want to ask you is, do you align yourself to the argument of Atiku Abubakar? How do you view the 40 days of Tinubu's presidency? Because Atiku is saying today food has become a luxury, the purchasing power of the people has dropped, no thanks to an unplanned petrol subsidy removal, which was not accompanied by any form of palliatives. With just 1,000 naira, any riffraff on the street could be handed a t-shirt and placard to engage in protest they know nothing about. This is how low Nigeria sunk low since Tinubu took over the reins of government. Tinubu blamed Godwin Emefiele for the country's economic woes and ordered his detention, while he continues to shower praises on the man who not only appointed Emefiele but gave him a national award. This is the height of hypocrisy. So yet again, the question is, how would you judge Tinubu's 40 days in office? How have you been faring? Would you say it's sacrifice for a better future? Do you think so? I'd like to hear from you. But to the final one, Rivers residents applaud government's planned transport palliative for workers. Rivers residents applaud Rivers State government's planned transport palliative for workers. Are you one of those Rivers people applauding? Because over the weekend, the news broke that the governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, will reel out buses. I think it's today. I didn't check the date. I got the memo, but I didn't check the date. I think it's today sometime, yeah. And the buses will be to ease, the high cost of transportation, or the effect of the high cost of transportation. And I'm asking the question, are you one of those applauding? I remember on the show with Ignatius Chukwu, we talked about this, and when I asked what measures should be put in place so that people of Rivers State don't get to really feel the brunt of the petrol subsidy removal, he said reel out buses. And now the government is reeling out buses. So what's your take on that? Do you think it's a good move? Do you think it's a brilliant move? Are you in support of it? Or do you think it can be done better? It can be extended to other facets of the River Society? I'd like to hear from you. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp number 0809-030-6416. What are your thoughts? Remember, you can only select one of the big stories to contribute on and talk for development, not destructive conversations. Once again, 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. We're live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH, active on Twitter, Nigeria Info PH, live on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH. All right, so let the conversations begin. Tell me what you think about any of the big stories that are brought your way. Ministerial appointment, Tinubu sends list to DSS, EFCC, others. And according to reports, 42-man list is what has been sent to these security outfits. And of course, 5 ex-governors are believed, underline the word now, believed to be on that list. The next one, we came as serving Tinubu's government. Fayose with that one. Court orders Obasanjo, Jonathan, others to account for $5 billion Abacha loot. And Rivers residents applaud government planned transport palliative for workers. All right, let's open the phone lines and let's get your thoughts on that. Clinton from Bori is currently calling. Let's listen to him. Hello, Clinton.
Hello, good afternoon, Kalada.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome.
Finally, Tinubu submits for the 2 ministerial lists.
For the 2-man list, yeah. For the 2-man list.
For the 2-man list,
yeah.
At least we should rest now. Rivers people can rest, because this thing has become a campaign. It's like they are doing election. And something that is the prerogative of the president. People are now campaigning. So I think finally we can now rest. Then, secondly, Rivers State government plans to buses.
Okay, just quickly run through it quickly, please.
All right. So I am not part of those applauding that, because I think it's a misplaced priority, because the buses will not get to everywhere in Rivers State. It will only remain in Port Harcourt. So what about those in the remote areas? Will they benefit? So I don't think it's necessary. Thank you.
All right then. Thank you very much for your time there. Please remember, when you do call in, there is the call screener. She's a lovely person. She'll take your name and your location, and then she will send you across to me. So please do well to be friendly with her, and do well to drop your name and your location, please. I've got Savior, and Savior is calling me from LMA. So let's listen to Savior and hear what he has to say. Savior, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, afternoon, sir.
Welcome. What are your thoughts?
I want to react to 40 days President Tinubu in office.
Oh, okay.
It has been a very difficult one.
Okay.
From day one he entered office, there is some things skyrocketed to some that we previously used to type something 10 naira a page. Today is 50 naira. That is 500% increase. Aspect, transportation is more than 200% increase. All that goods in the offline market. But I hope that it should be for good.
All right, you're hoping it should be for good. All right. Thank you, Savior. I've got Benson from HA. Benson, good afternoon to you. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Kalada.
Welcome, Benson.
Good afternoon. Yeah, Dick and Benson from HA.
All right.
If you can remember, Kalada, last week, Friday to be precise, I talked about this transportation of a thing. That it will be one of the things that will cushion the effect of first subsidy removal.
All right.
In our system. But if it will be only rolling out buses for the civil servants within Port Harcourt and Jobiapur, it will mean nothing. It will not help anything at all.
All right.
But I would wish that the governor should, as an emergency, revitalize ROTC, buy buses, employ drivers, employ mechanics, and send them to routes like Indiama Port Harcourt, Omok Ahoda Port Harcourt, Echie Port Harcourt, Obibo Port Harcourt, Kana Eleme to Port Harcourt, and the other routes within the Port Harcourt, and also buy boats for those that cannot use planned transport. Let them use the former transport fare that the transporters we are using before fuel subsidy removal. And the Ministry of Transport should supervise ROTC.
All right.
Employ their management. Any management that do not follow to the rules, they fire them and bring another people. By this, I tell you, it will help to cushion the effect of the fuel subsidy removal. But rolling out buses for only civil servants within Port Harcourt, it will mean nothing.
All right, then. All right, thank you very much, Benson. I've got to go now. I've got Fine Mind from Ruma Cruci. Fine Mind, welcome.
Yeah, Kalada, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. Quickly run through your thoughts now. Let's hear you.
Wike must serve in Tinubu's cabinet. Fayose. You see, issues like this are the reasons why our country will not move forward. When appointment is based on relationship or compensation and not on competence, it becomes a problem. I am not saying that the governor is incompetent, but the reason that the former governor gave are not good enough.
He gave a lot of reasons. You know, I hope you remember. He gave a lot of reasons. He said Wike is a capacity.
If I work for you to become whatever you become, is that an enough reason for you to
but that's not the only reason. That's Fine Mind. That's not the only reason. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's not the only reason.
You didn't get. I said that is the topmost reason. That is the number one reason he gave.
But there are other reasons. That's what I'm saying.
He gave why Wike should serve in his cabinet, and that is not an enough reason.
Okay.
We need an administration that is predominantly made up of technocrats, not politicians, because that is what has kept us where we are. You don't just appoint people based on compensation.
Okay.
It's a problem.
All right then.
I know you understand what I mean.
I understand. I understand you very well, and I might.
Know that there are better people, even from this state, that would have served a better purpose than the former governor. He has served in the state. So if he actually, meant well for the country, Compensation should not be at the back of his mind for what he did, whatever he did for the president to emerge as the president. You understand? It shouldn't be a compensation thing.
All right.
It shouldn't be a compensation thing. That is why I have grounds. I don't have grounds with him being appointed or not. But appointment should not be based on compensation or relationship. It should be based on competence.
Okay.
We are tired of having politicians that do not mean well for this country being appointed for positions that they know nothing about. Thank you.
Thank you very much, fine mind. I've got Chukudi from Chukota, HA. Chukudi, welcome.
Thank you, Kala.
Yeah, Chukudi, welcome. Let's hear your thoughts, please.
I think the transport system that the governor just introduced, we didn't hear anything. When you go to Lagos, you see how transport system is being gazetted within the state. There must be a foundation. There must be news before the introduction of whatever.
There was news over the weekend.
ROTC. You see, when we talk about transportation, you should have a plan that you should go to the rural areas, because rural dwellers are the one that will feel the impact of this whatever they're saying. But what we hear in River State is that the bus is being launched by the governor. So I don't know where has it been marked.
Oh,
those,
I get you.
Transport
Okay.
system. We don't know.
We don't know.
That's always how our own thing here used to be. We are watching. Thank you.
Maybe during the flag off, Chukudi, they will tell us where and where. I get you now. Maybe during the flag off, they will tell us maybe Aba Road, Ikwere Road, all the roads that we have. But I've got Hector, and Hector is calling from Ogbogoro. Hector, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, KD.
Yeah, welcome. Quickly, please. Yeah.
Court, Khoda, OBJ, Jonathan, and Buhari.
And even Yaradua.
And even Yaradua. To account of Abacha loot. You see, KD, this Abacha loot is like a river that doesn't run dry. Every time you keep fetching from the water. Every government that has come since 1999 has benefited from the Abacha loot, and we don't even know what they did with it. Several groups on some occasions have called on government, starting government to prove what they are doing with or what they've done with the Abacha loot. We have not seen anything. But in every administration, we keep hearing Abacha loot keeps on coming. It keeps on. Is it because the man is dead? If Abacha were to be alive, are we going to hear of this recovery loot? Today, they are alive. We are not hearing of theirs. We keep on hearing of Abacha loot because the man is dead. I think I support I support the court, the position of the court.
All right. That
the president government should probe them. They should come and give account of what they did with the money that they recovered so far.
All right then. All right. Thank you very much, Hector. I've got Lucky from. I missed that connection. Sorry about that. But now there is Dennis from Transamari. Dennis, good afternoon to you.
Yes. Good afternoon, Mr. Karada. Now it is a visible view to the blind that the government of St. Fubara is a continuation of that of Wike. Starting from the commissioner, the attorney general, the House of Assembly members, and what have you, just name them. We have the moribund ROTC. Now, ordinarily, Rivers people are supposed to be happy that they will be commissioning something within the four walls of that ROTC. Now, rather than it being that they will be commissioning buses that will run around the whole entire stretch of Rivers State, the Abodimazi, the Ogoniazi, and other parts of River State, we are having somebody commissioning few buses that will run within Obiakpo and Faga. The question then lies, is it only Obiakpo and Faga we have in River State? The answer, the way I know it. Kaladasa, why can't in Fubara, just within your neighborhood there, Nigeria Info neighborhood, you have the Liberty Syringe Factory. If I don't have a job, where will I be entering that free mototo? Why can't you provide job for Rivers people after first carrying out the the mind of 200 billion naira from your boss being Wike to do a useless ring road that will lead to nowhere?
Yeah, you can't. Okay, your opinion.
Why couldn't you have used that money to interior parts of River State and create factories, industries, which would automatically open road even without anybody creating a road to it? Instead, you are bringing out buses to a people who don't have a job to enter that bus for work. So if I want to enter that bus, where am I entering that bus to when I don't have a job? So why don't you create a job for me so that I can earn the living and board the bus? For Christ's sake, King Fubara is a stooge and a new fight is grace to Rivers people.
All right, that's your opinion. Thank you very much. I've got to let you go now. Now, when you say people don't have jobs, people have businesses, right? So people would move from what do you call it now? People would move from Mile 1 Park to Eleme, for instance, to do their businesses. The bus will come in very what's it called now? The bus will come in very handy for them. You might say he's a stooge, you might say he's a newbie in the game. I mean, he has already accepted it, that he's new to politics, he's new to governance, and he needs as many politicians by his side as possible. He's agreed to that. But when you're, like I've said over time, when you criticize anything, look at the merits of the thing, look at the disadvantages of a thing, and then you now make your opinion or, pour your criticism from that standpoint. But to just say, because there will be people who will benefit, you might not benefit from it, does not mean other people will not benefit. That being said, I might agree with you on the creation of industries, because when you industrialize a place, then development is bound to happen regardless of whether you put your effort in making it happen or not. Once you put industries, development will be bound in that vicinity or locality. But that being said, let's look at some of the messages. This one says, Kalada, good evening. Did Atiku say that he would have done differently if he was the president? The article-led opposition is neither. Okay, Gift Waldo, thank you very much. Let's see. Good day, Mr. Kalada. Court orders Obasanjo, Jonathan, etc. to account for $5 billion Abacha loot. Seriously, Kalada, I want to ask you, do you believe that anything good will come out of this court order? The same Abacha's loot that was looted even before the money arrived in Nigeria. I join other Rivers residents to applaud my governor for the planned transport palliative honor. And people are saying that it's not good enough. Do you agree? Do you agree with the criticism? I'd like to hear from you some more. All right, keep your calls coming in. Let's see, what do I have on Facebook? Just give me a minute there. Makachika Dike Nuba says palliative is another subsidy for politicians to steal money. Petrol subsidy removal affects everything. If you subsidize transportation, what happens to others like food, hospital bill, etc.? Danny Chooks Alozie from D-Line. I know Fayose very well, living in Ekiti. He's just a contractor, a man with a chameleonic attitude, so people like me can never take him serious, all right? And then you went ahead to say, now that the court has ordered ex-presidents to account for that $5 billion loot, Kalada, please, how do we wake Yaradua up to account for his own share? Okay. This one says, a man with such level of politics in his head, Wike should serve. That's from Great Man. Okay. I don't know what's wrong with this. Well, you say from Great Man, God's power. I've got Frank from D-Line. Let's listen to Frank. Frank, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon. Welcome.
Frank from D-Line. Canada, I'm later this afternoon to call you because the ministerial list is out. And my former governor, Ian Wike, I've been able to make it.
He has. I've not said. It's not from my studio. You heard that one. I've not said he has made it.
I know. And me, I have seen it.
Oh, you have seen it.
I'm not saying. Not saying you are the one.
Are you part of the DSS or the EFCC?
Don't worry now. Since you are not okay with my decision, you will see it maybe tomorrow or next.
Okay.
But you will see his name there.
All right then.
So some people are not saying technocrat in River State. When Chika Mechi became Minister of Transportation, nobody asked of technocrat. Today now, because it's Wike's son now, technocrat. In short, that technocrat.
Why do we always? Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Why do we always do this comparison? I mean, when APC did it, nobody talked. Now PDP is doing it. Why? If it's bad, it's bad. If it's good, it's good. We don't have to do the comparisons. Really, Zion from GRA. Zion, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, KD.
Welcome.
Caveat emptor. Any toxic criticism against Governor Sim Fubara, you will have no choice to contest with such criticism in River State. Any toxic attack on Sim Fubara is attack on Mr. Zion and his associates. Put that on record. Now, for the bodies in River State, is a total intermediate response to the suffering and the yearnings of the people living in River State. I have seen people trek a distance to walk. I have seen people with no money. I have seen embarrassment from drivers, conductors, passengers. I have seen frustration. And today, the governor in his wisdom, in his compassionate heart, deemed fit to roll out such a palliative. I think it's a welcome development. Some Rivers people will work in that buses as conductors and drivers. They will have sustainable income for themselves. And just imagine, a short distance is 50 naira, a long distance is 100 naira.
But Zion. Now, I think I understand where you're coming from, but allow me to quote you short for a bit. Some of the people who have called, apart from the one who went vile with his words, some of the people who have called us said, see, it's only Obiakwa and Falga it's likely to run, because when you say workers, I'm going somewhere. I'm trying to explain what they have said. I'm not saying that's what it is. Now, because from the memo, we do not necessarily know where these buses will run as at now. However, some are saying there is the likelihood that this bus will be in the city, in the township area, in the capital or near the capital, and they're saying the rural areas might not get this blessing of some sort. So that's where the criticisms are coming from.
How many rural people are coming to Port Harcourt to work? The Port Harcourt Obibo Express Road will have their own shuttle.
Okay.
The Rumokoro Uniport Alu will have their own shuttle. Is that not a long distance? Now the people from Eleme Junction to Akpajo One will have their own shuttle. The people from Rumola to Rumokuta Ngoba NTA Road will have their own shuttle. Port Harcourt Township will have their own shuttle.
So what about Imbiama? What about Imbiama people? What about
who is coming from Imbiama?
A lot of people. So it's for only. See, that's the point. So are you saying it's for only secretariat people?
Metropolis.
Okay.
Metropolis.
So that's where the problem is now.
Working in the universities, parastatals, private individuals. You must not be just because you're a civil servant and you show your ID card before you enter. No, it's for everybody that is working.
But Port Harcourt, but I agree with you. But Port Harcourt Metropolis, that's the argument now.
Sir, we are looking at the convenience doing business.
Okay.
Port Harcourt and Obibo, there are Obibo people coming to Port Harcourt. Do you know the redemption it will offer them?
Right.
So they enter this bus, get to Obibo Junction before can take another vehicle. The truth is, all these ideas are conceived based on the governor's idea to ameliorate the pains of the people. And more palliative will come from the agriculture, from entertainment, from it will come. All this and for the project, Rivers people. And it's a welcome development, Mr. Zion.
Mr. Zion, thank you very much. I would ask Sheriff and Augustine to stay on the line. I've got a quick commercial break coming up. trust me, I wouldn't take your time. So just stay on the line if you can hear me. When I come back from, it's 60 seconds sound clip. Once I play it and I come back, I'll take your calls and I'll take your thoughts, and I get to hear what you have to say concerning the big stories that we have on display right about now. Once again, good afternoon, and you're listening to Hard Facts with Kalada Korubatubo. Stay tuned. And take Sheriff's call and listen to Sheriff and what he has to say. Sheriff, welcome on the show.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. Welcome. Let's talk.
Please, I want to get direct to Mr. Zion that criticism is part of democracy.
All right.
When the government initiates a bosses to work, is to capture the effect of this subsidy. I'm not a government worker. Then how can I how can I enter the box? Where can I get each one? How can I enter the box? Is it made for only government workers? What about the market woman?
And that's the question I was trying to ask, and he said it's for Port Harcourt Metropolis.
So how are they going to benefit from it? Okay. If you want to capture the effect of fuel subsidy, then if you want to make it go around, let everybody benefit from it. It's not only workers that live in this. Those workers, they are not 10% of people in this river state. It's not fair.
All right then.
But it must be commendable, but it's not fair. The way you're doing it is not fair.
All right. So it's commendable, but it should be done, and extended
to in a normal way. Let everybody benefit from it. I know it's not easy, but those market women, they are not workers. How even the rural area is the market is the bus get to the rural area.
All right then, Sheriff, thank you very much. I've got Augustine. I lost that connection. Let's see now. Good afternoon, Canada. I laugh when people say politicians shouldn't be appointed as ministers. If I may ask, is the Ziani Alison Madweke, Adeshina, Dr. Ibe Kachiku not technocrats? Did they perform excellently well? Who is the most alleged celebrated ex-minister in Jonathan's government? Was it not Mrs. Madweke? Please, let's stop this technocrat whatever. The person that will be corrupt will be, I suggest, a blend of politicians and sincere technocrats. Thanks, Ibiba. Ibiba, thank you very much. So says Rivers residents will enter the buses not to work but to churches to pray for work. After all, Rivers State is a Christian state. Wachiku from Ajibe State. All right. This one says, when we talk about buses from government and Wike being a minister, it shows how narrow-minded we are. What is so special about them? All right. This one says, good afternoon, Kalada. River State government rolling out palliatives. Will it cover the 23 LGAs or only Port Harcourt? If it is Port Harcourt only, it is completely not a welcome development. If I Ukabunwa. And this one says, on the ring road, it is a well-thought idea by the initiators. Kudos, but not priority now. The internal roads in the state, especially Port Harcourt Metropolis, needs most attention. The cost of fixing cars are enormous. Government should help Egbelu, Ngbaraja, Bogoro road users. I mean, for Ernest Port Harcourt. All right, thank you very much. And that's the much that I can take. When I do come back, more conversations. Up next, the business news.